Hello and welcome to Talking the Game as the preview of Crystal Palace versus West Ham United. We're sponsored by Royal London Watches, so make sure you do check out their West Ham United watches. Gonzo, it's international weekend just passed. Are you glad West Ham are back?
It's good to be back. International break is really boring. It's great actually. Yes, it's dragged on. It dragged on 2 weeks, too long really. Yeah, good to be back and an away game against Palace.
It's been a horrible weekend for me, especially, and with 1 point for Scotland. Not much better for England. Now we're playing a team. If I said to you you're going to be watching a team consisting of Benteke, Tompkins, and Townsend, you may be in summer. You might have been expecting me to be talking about West Ham United. However, I'm not. Am I, Tom? I'm talking about our opponents, Crystal Palace. They impressed you in the summer. Have they impressed you so far this season?
Yeah, definitely. They've been one of the surprise packages. I mean, how many points they got? 10 points, 9 points, 10 points. They're doing well in the league. Bought some fantastic signings. Obviously, Benteke was one of the ones that Gonzo wanted them. I come round to in the end. He's a fantastic player. He's more realistic. We didn't get him. He's gone there. He's scoring for Belgium. He looks like he's on fire. Obviously, Tompkins. It's a shame about him going there. Yeah, definitely, Joe.
Gonzo, is this a difference? Are we seeing the difference between where we are in the league and where Palace are in the league? Is this the difference between by improving Premier League and taking punts?
It is. It's also a difference between just concentrating on your first team rather than your squad, which we've discussed before. It's born out from Pardew trying to build a team that in many respects is bigger than the sum of its parts, but it all has a function. So Bilic goes, who was a decent player, but he's very tricky, and he brings in Townsend. He's very direct. Townsend's just going to knock it past the fullback and put the crossover. They tried to work it with Connor Wickham, who's a big lad, but that didn't really work out. So now you've got Zaha and you have Townsend, and they are there purely and simply to supply Benteke. So they have a system, and they had a method, and they have a set way of playing. Perhaps you might look at West Ham so far this season and say, what is our set way of playing? We don't really have an identity. Crystal Palace got an identity.
What should they be aiming for, Gonzo, Crystal Palace this season? Where do they go?
Well, I tipped them for 7th at the start of the season, and I think that's a really good season for a club like Crystal Palace. Last season was a bit of a freak, and now the big clubs have taken stock. Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, all the traditional big clubs with big fan bases they've all aligned themselves. So the top 6, you might haggle about the order, but the big 6 clubs are going to occupy the top 6 places. So the rest is really up for grabs. And I think Crystal Palace, perhaps alongside Everton, in with a shout of occupying the best of the rest status, if you want.
Tom Gonzo there mentions Zaha and Townsend, but he's missed out Jason Punchin. Now, Punchin has actually created the most goal-scoring chances in the league this season. He's done it more than De Bruyne. He's done it more than Hazard, whatever. He's more than Ozil. 24 chances he's created in 7 games, just over 3 a game. Do you think, does that worry you, considering that's in the middle of the pitch until we played Obiang against Middlesbrough? That's been arguably our weak spot.
Yeah, it definitely worries me. I didn't know that stat about Punchin, so that's pretty impressive, really. And he's been there for quite a while, hasn't he, Punchin? Has he been there 3 or 4 seasons? Yeah, that's pretty impressive to get up there with the sort of them top players you mentioned, Ozil and Payet, and to get up there with the assists. That one as you said, Obiang, our central midfield is going to need to shore that up come the weekend, definitely.
Tom, is Benteke the difference between how easy it is for Jason Punchin to get those goal-scoring chances when all he has to do is just really put in a half-decent cross?
Bit of both, really, isn't it? I mean, because obviously Benteke will make the runs. He's doing the job, really, that Zaza's not doing. And Punchin obviously then got a lot of space, obviously, because Benteke is occupying the 2 central defenders, and Punchin's got a lot of space to get in there and create the chances. So, you could, definitely help for his assists.
Well, Crystal Palace are unbeaten in their last 5 in the Premier League with 3 wins and 2 draws. And, well, of course, West Ham United have won there the last 2 visits, winning 3-1 last season. we will find out if Pardew will be dancing or will Bilic, who could be in trouble. I'm going to ask these two in a minute just how much in trouble is Slaven Bilic, particularly if he was to lose this one. Keep your eyes out for a new West Ham United website. We've got nothing to do with the running of it. It's by SB Nation, who is on the massive American website. It's URLs on your screen just now. It's called bracethehammer.com. We are very proud to be asked by them if they could feature our videos, so thank you to them. But do check them out and keep your eyes out for their news and articles coming. The man in the middle is my favourite referee, Martin Atkinson. I'm not going to tell you what games we had him for last season because he refed 5. We won with 2 of them and drawn 3 of them. We were unbeaten last season with him in charge. We had him once this season already, which was at home to Watford, where we played our first half an hour 40 minutes of beautiful football and then just completely car crashed and lost 4-2. Palace haven't had him this season, but they had him twice last season and they lost both games. So please, Martin, keep up your good form for West Ham United. Gonzo, how are you feeling about this one? Palace in good form, West Ham just in a rot. We kind of papered over the cracks against Middlesbrough. So how are you feeling going to Selhurst Park?
Well, I am going to Selhurst Park because, I'm feeling refreshed for the break. As much as the international break was boring, I think we needed it. I was quite downbeat, pretty depressed about the whole West Ham situation, be it on the pitch and off the pitch. I know you want to discuss Bilic in a moment, so putting that to one side, I think it's make or break now, and because of that, I'm actually feeling quite positive. I think the pressure may well be off, bearing in mind we're not at the stadium, we're not at the London Stadium. So I think that could really help rather than hinder us. I'm hoping that players have come back to form, players are coming back, are going to be fit, and I hope the shackles are going to be off. And I'm actually quite positive. We'll give a prediction at the end, but I think we may well win this game.
Tom, last season, Dimitri Payet and Manuel Lanzini scored in both games against Crystal Palace. So I think they accumulated 5 goals maybe against them last season between the two. Do we really need to see them to step up and do it consistently over 90 minutes if we are to get something from this game?
Yeah, definitely. Payet needs to step up, and having Cresswell back, rumours about Cresswell coming back, will definitely help Payet's game out if he's on the left. That one of the reasons why he was so successful last season, because Cresswell helped him out majorly, I feel, on the left-hand side. So having Cresswell back will help Payet out. And Lanzini's fantastic. He sort of goes under the radar, doesn't he, really? Yeah, but definitely, yeah.
Tom, do you think Cresswell's absence has actually highlighted just how important he is to West Ham in the way we play?
Oh, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. We've missed him. You can look into it as much as you want. For me, our defence has been pretty shocking down that side. Masuaka's he's a great player. I'm not dissing him, but he's great at going forward. He's awful at then, and before that, awful at defending. Before that, we didn't have no one to cover it. We have missed him. Cresswell we really missed Cresswell.
Well, we won't talk too much about the defence because it might pick itself. Because I believe Reid might be missing the game actually. He did play for New Zealand on Tuesday night, and with the time difference and the travelling, etc., I've got a little feeling he might be a doubt for the game against Crystal Palace, which we probably see Collins and Ogbonna start with Arbeloa and Cresswell in the fullbacks. But Gonzo, what formation are you hoping to see us play? Are you hoping to see us play 3 in the middle, like we did against Middlesbrough with Obiang, Cech and Noble, or are you hoping us to see us switch to 2 in the middle and push Lanzini on in behind the striker, or play 2 up front even?
Well, he's not going to play 2 up front, regardless of what I want. I don't think it matters too much about formation whether you got 3 or 2 in the middle for this one. What I do think is important is that we play more or less last season's team. As we've highlighted, we didn't really improve our first team. This is our opportunity. I want us to get as close to last season's team plus Arbeloa as is possible. So if that means that we play Cresswell comes back, even half-fit Cresswell, he goes in at left back for me. If Sacco has been playing in behind closed doors games, then Sacco starts up front. And we need that last season team playing. You can mix and match in the middle as much as you want. I think your point about Reid is very interesting because I possibly would have played Collins anyway for his aerial ability because we have to sort of combat Benteke at some point. But I want last season's team plus Arbeloa, and that's what I want to see us do.
So you would leave out Obiang?
No, because he was one. No, I don't think you can after the last game, but he was one of last season players. So you take out Chiesa, take out Noble, take out who you want. What I'm saying is, we can't see Gurkentora anyway. But I want Tora. I don't want Faguli. I certainly don't want Zaza. I want last season's players in there plus Arbeloa. So I don't care what the mixture is in the middle. Drop Noble, drop Chiesa. I don't care. Obiang deserves to start. He was man of the match in the last game, wasn't he? So let's have him in there. Payet, I disagree. Payet doesn't need to turn up for 90 minutes. Payet's so good. So Payet can turn up for 10 minutes and win us that game, by the way. But we need everybody, even if they're not totally tactically at it, we need them to be up for it. And we need 100% effort from everybody. And yeah, I'm quite confident of us doing that.
Tom, Gonzo says he doesn't care about the middle of the pitch, the middle of the team. Do you agree with that, or do you disagree with that comment?
In a way, Gonzo, sorry, I disagree with Ginge at the back. I think he's been a liability this season. As much as I love him and he said about the aerial threat, I don't want to see Ginge play against Crystal Palace because I think Benteke is going to tear him a new one. And obviously, you mentioned Reed out, so it's got to be Ogbonna. And then you've got to look at maybe putting QA back there or Norvit, someone else in the middle at the defensive, and then put someone in front of him like Obiang to cover that. I love Ginge, but he's been, you see him against Watford, and he's made a lot of mistakes. So Benteke is on form at the moment, even though he played a rubbish team in international and he scored a hat trick. But in the midfield, I would only have one of either. I want to see two attacking. Lanzini. I don't want to see too many defensive players in the middle. I think that's been our problem, to be honest.
So, who would you drop then? Are you saying Chiari goes at the back, and are you having one of Noble and Obiang? If so, which one are you dropping? Are you dropping Mr. West Ham or Mr. Man of Match against Middlesbrough?
No, I probably would put Lanzini behind the striker and put Noble and Obiang in the middle.
I would do the same as yourself, Tom, but I would have Lanzini in centre midfield. I'd drop him back and play a deep line play. I'm going to keep banging this drum, so I apologise to anyone that regularly watches Hammers Chat. I've said it a couple of times now. I want to see Lanzini play centre midfielder next to Noble and Obiang behind him. I would have Chiari centre back as well. I don't want to see Ginge either. I think every time the ball goes near him, I just close my eyes a little bit because I'm expecting him to make a mistake. And I know Benteke scored a hat-trick against a second-rate country. I can't remember who it was now, but they're ranked 200th in the FIFA rankings.
Was it Scotland, wasn't it?
Oh, there we go. Very good. But it doesn't matter who he was playing against because a hat-trick's a hat-trick for a striker. Goals is goals. Your confidence is going to go through the roof. We're facing him at the wrong time, actually. He's got a point to prove against West Ham. I almost feel like he's going to say, a bit like Charlie Austin did, although we never spoke out publicly about him. He's going to say, you should have come in for me, and I'm going to show you why. Because I imagine he would have got more wages with us, slightly better prospect than Palace in the summer with respect to Palace. But we've spoke about our formation. Let us know what you want in the comments below or on our forum at hammerschat.com. But now let's talk about our manager. Let's talk about the potential. If we lose, Gonzo, are we in a relegation battle yet? Or when do you start worrying about relegation? Would you want Bilic gone? You said to me after the Southampton game, Bilic loses the next three, you want him out. He's drew against Middlesbrough. This is the second game. So where are you with the Bilic scale?
No, I said he will be out. I didn't say I particularly want him out, but yeah, I totally agree. I've not changed on that. He loses. There's been some reassuring comments off the record this week suggesting he's going to be given time. I don't believe them. I don't believe those comments. I think if he loses against Crystal Palace, and then even if he only gets a draw against Sunderland, he's out. And yes, we'll be in the thick of it for a relegation battle. Because as I've said, if we don't win either against Palace or against Sunderland, we would require at least 2 points. Well, we have to average 2 points from all our remaining games. And that's a tough ask, a very, very tough ask. So I've been here before. I've been here before with West Ham. I've said many times with West Ham, I think there are three worse teams than us in the league. I've said that many times with West Ham and watched us go down. So we're gonna have to put those cliches to bed and actually start looking at the mathematics of it. And the mathematics will suggest if we don't win one of our next two games, we are absolutely in a relegation battle. It might not even take Sunderland a heavy loss against Crystal Palace. He could even be gone then. He might even walk.
I think you're right about putting the cliche to bed. I mean, that whole "there's worse teams than us" is a bit rubbish. When you think about last season, Leicester City won the league. They're not the best team on paper in that Premier League last season by a country mile, but they were the best organised. They were the best. They deserved it, etc. But they weren't the best team on paper. But football's not played on paper. Tom, where are you on the Bilic scale? Because you've been quite worried about relegation a few weeks ago, before the Southampton loss, before the abject performance against Middlesbrough. You were still a bit wary. Where are you sitting with this now after the international break?
Well, they always say when you get to Christmas, where you're going to be for the rest of the season, isn't it? I don't want to wait to get to Christmas personally. I don't want Bilic to go. I want Bilic to turn it round. But Gonzo's right. They can't take a risk. Relegation for the board was not even in the pipeline this season. Wasn't even in the pipeline. So, but who'd they get in? I mean, if Bilic goes, who'd they get in? You've got some good names, Mancini banding around. But is he going to be getting us out? I don't know. I want Bilic to turn it round. I think we've got the quality coming back now to turn it round, and I hope he does turn it round. But yeah, I mean, as Gonzo says, I mean, after the next 2 games, the next 4 or 5 after that, we have got some brutal games. I think we've got the top 4 or 5 in a row. I think it's pretty spectacular. So we could be rock bottom come Christmas. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait till then. I think Bilic will turn it around. But yeah, if he doesn't turn it around, I think he will go.
You two both said that you think he might go, but do you want him to go if we only get, say, 1 point out of the next 2 games?
No, I don't want him to go personally.
I'll answer that. Do I want him to go now? Ask me that question. If we lose against Crystal Palace and then we lose against Sunderland and we're still on that boat doing a review, then ask me if I want him to go. Whilst I don't want him to go now, I think another 2 losses, and if we're at the bottom of the league, I might well be saying he needs to go. There might not be any other choice at that point. I understand what Tom's saying. Who comes in? You know, goodness knows. But the thing is, Bilic is not a. I can't try not to swear. Bilic is not a nasty, horrible, unlikable man like Sam Allardyce. So Sam Allardyce didn't build up any goodwill. So when it turned sour for Sam Allardyce, we said, right, up at you, because as fans, he didn't like us. He didn't treat the club with respect. Crikey, he didn't treat the country with respect. So how could we expect him to treat our club with respect? Bilic has built up a lot of goodwill, and a lot of people are willing him to do well. He's a nice guy. He's got traditions of the club at heart. He respects the fans. We all want him to turn it round. But at some point, we've got to stop hoping and wishing. As I say, having said all that, I'm confident that we're going to turn it round. I think Cresswell's going to turn up. I think Payet's going to turn up. I think Kiate is going to turn up. I think a lot of the big players are going to turn up. Bilic is going to go for it. And I think Crystal Palace might get a bit of a shock, actually, as good as they are at the moment.
It's almost prediction time from these two, but I'm behind Bilic. Even if we lose both games, I'm still behind Bilic. He's only 48. I think he's got the potential to be a fantastic manager. He's really young in the sense of a manager. I just think he needs, to be honest, I think he's been a little bit shortchanged in the summer. Gonzo touched on it at the start. I was going to mention it, but Gonzo used the words. I didn't bother. And that is identity. Bilic had an identity last season. The players we bought don't suit his identity. He's got, you know, we talk about square pegs and a round hole. Bilic had round holes. The board handed him square pegs. They should have been going out and getting round pegs for him, if that makes sense, but they didn't. Benteke was a round peg. I'd even argue Townsend's a round peg. I'd even argue Tompkins is a round peg, who was sold. But fact is, correct me if I'm wrong, our second highest fee we forked out in the summer was for Fernandes, who's got no intention of playing in first team football. I know we count Lanzini in the summer fee, but you know, it doesn't make sense. I do feel really sorry for Bilic, but football's a results game, unfortunately. But it's not the be all and end all for myself. Prediction time for you two, so get thinking. But before we do that, our sponsors over at Royal London Watches have given us a West Ham United watch to give away, which we're giving to one of our subscribers. All you have to do is subscribe to our channel and tell us which West Ham watch you like. There's a video we've done, so the link for the video is below, so pop on and have a look at that after we've got these predictions and enter. It's free to enter, but it's a beautiful watch in there. But Gonzo, prediction time then. sound very confident. You said you think we're going to surprise Crystal Palace. I think you're going to surprise a lot of the viewers then, but what's your score prediction?
Yeah, I'm refreshed. The team are going to be refreshed. They've been training hard. 2-0 win to West Ham.
2-0 says Gonzo. A clean sheet says Gonzo. So that's a turn up for the books. Tom, what are you thinking? What's your score prediction for Selhurst Park?
We ain't going to get a clean sheet. Sorry, Gonzo. I think it's, and I think it's going to be a score draw, 1-1.
I'm going with a score draw as well. I'm going to go our most popular score last season. That's 2-2. It's going to happen sometime soon. So the thing, Tom, Gonzo said a win, but Tom, you said a draw. Would you take a point right now?
It's away from home. You've got to take a point, haven't you? It's not what you need.
Season. If you're comparing last season's points to this season's, that's another 2 points we've lost out on that we had last season. And we've already lost out on, I think, 11 so far from our fixtures played. So that would be 13 points. We're so far down, like for like fixtures. And we've got points at Anfield. We've got 4 points against Man U, beat Chelsea at home. So that's a lot of points we've got to make up. So would you still take a point?
No, I mean, I'm just going on my head. Palace are in such good form at the moment. They've got arguably one of the best strikers in the league, and we're leaky at defence. I don't want to take a point. No, I want to get 3 points, but I'm being realistic when I say we're going to concede and we're going to score one. I hope we don't concede more than one. But no, yeah, I think 1-1. But I hope it's going to be 3 or 4 or 5-0 to us. But I can't see it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm going 2-2. But thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel here at Hammers Chat. Give us your predictions. You can do that down below or come onto our forum at hammerschat.com. But Gonzo will be doing a vlog from Selhurst Park, so make sure you check that out. And we'll be live at full time. So come onto the channel then or on the forum straight after full time. We'll be giving our review whether we win, lose, or draw, and you'll feel our pure emotions. But thank you very much for watching. Gonzo, Tom, Gio, thank you.